Well, hello there, and this is Auntie. And I am coming to you on the late night with a story time. Yes, a story time. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you so much for being here. And to all of my nieces and nephews who have been here with me for the long haul, thank you. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button when you come into the room so that YouTube knows that you're here, and I do too. All right, y'all. So here's my story time that I would like to share with y'all. I am in my boudoir right now and just thought that I would talk about this situation that I came across. So we're going to call it Extinguisher Gate. Okay. Now, as many of you have already heard, there was a cast member of 90 Day Fiance, I guess season 6, that allegedly wanted to get rid of her ex husband. Now, as we all know, we have seen episodes of 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After where our boy Jay was basically doing some stuff in a restroom, as you will, at somebody's establishment. Okay. So it appears that he has had a problem with cheating. Now, this is alleged. Well, no, not so much alleged, because there's a video where he confesses to doing everything that he said. And that video has been on TLC. All right. So he was sleeping, allegedly with a whole bunch of women and doing what he do with the woo 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 woo. There was an interview that someone sent to me that showed Jay basically interviewing and discussing some things that he has been going through, both he and his wife or ex-wife or ex-woman in line. I don't know. But his ex, nonetheless, um, talking about what has happened in the relationship. Okay. So in this said video, this individual is indicating that, he is in an apartment. He has the red lights going on and all of that. And basically, he is describing an incident that happened at his house. Now, as we saw on last week's episode, Ashley found out that Jay was cheating and automatically said that she was calling the police and wanted him deported from the United States. She said that Jay was here illegally. The only reason why it appears that Jay is here illegally is because someone did not file his status. Okay. All right. They didn't file his adjustment of status to say that he is no longer, um, I guess not an American citizen and he is now an American citizen. Like, I don't know how all that stuff goes, but I don't need to. I'm not a 90 Day fiance or cast member or any of that stuff. I'm just a lowly old YouTuber out here, doing what I do and reporting the news. And as a matter of fact, this is what this is. This is a story time and I'm reporting the news. So anyway, this he talks about an incident that happened at his house. Allegedly, Jay was supposed to have stolen a safe. Now, you all know I'm not really an Instagrammer. I'm not really out there on Instagram, but allegedly, he was accused of stealing a safe from his ex house. She goes on to tell one story, then she goes on to tell another story. Then that story gets cleared up. Then that story that got cleared up gets cleared up. And then there's another story. And then there's just stories on top of stories. So at first she said that, allegedly, I don't know, y'all tell me down in the comment section, that a PlayStation allegedly was taken from her home. Jay indicates that he didn't take the PlayStation from the home, that she was on somewhere in Texas, I guess. And he had texted her, called her, Skyped her, Morse coded her to say that his cable was not working in his home, and so he needed it in order to do whatever he does with PlayStations. Okay. And so allegedly he had gotten permission to do this. And then after he had gotten permission to do this, he had taken a safe out of the house prior to that. In that safe, allegedly, was some passports and I don't know what else was in there. So, some kind of way, a rumor went out that Jay wanted to clear up. So Jay alleges that he did not steal the safe. He alleges that Ashley helped him move the safe into his vehicle, that she was fully aware of it. She alleges that she, tried to call him and tell him that her children's passport or child's passport was in this safe. Jay said that the say that the passports weren't in there. She says that the passports were in there. Like, where the hell was the passports? So anyway, to make a long story time and news reporting segment short, there was an incident between the two of them, where she was supposed to be coming to get this alleged PlayStation. She says that she called Jay on the phone and said, I'm going to come over there and get the PlayStation. Jay said, don't come right now. He said, don't come right now. She said, no, I'm out with my girls. It's 10 o'clock at night, and I am coming right now. So Jay said, you know what? I had a hoe up in that camp. Allegedly, or some woman up in that camp. And I'm doing what I do with the whoop whoop and the boop boop boop. So here's the first thing. Let's stop and take a pause and let's unpack this. If I'm calling someone and they are telling me don't come right now, and I make a decision to come right now, then I'm going to get what I get. Now, we all have seen her be, Inspector Gadget, going out and searching and talking to the homeboys at the barber shop and tracing phone numbers allegedly and going back and pulling phone reports to find out who people are and calling their asses and doing all kinds of stuff, okay? Been just doing all kinds of stuff. So when you seek, you will find. If a man or a woman tells you don't come to their mofo house at 10 o'clock at night, don't come at 10 o'clock at night. And then don't try to take it and spin it and say, well, it was a setup. How's that a setup? Things that make you go, How is that a setup? If I say don't come at 10, come at another time, and you come at 10, you set yourself up. See, you wanted to know what I was doing. And so when you got there, you found out what I was doing. But anyway, okay, so we just unpacked that. Lesson one for the night. If a bitch tell you don't come. You don't take it upon yourself to come. Now, Jay has his own apartment, allegedly, according to Ashley, in an interview. Okay? According to Ashley, in an interview, she, at the tell-all, split half of her money with Jay. Okay? She said that she didn't have to give it to him because you know what? The immigrant doesn't get the money. Okay? All right, we'll go with that. So she splits half of it and makes a decision that she is going to help him get an apartment because she quote unquote, wanted him out of her house. Now, allegedly, her name is on the lease. I don't know. I don't even give a damn, to be honest with you. I just want to get down to the fire extinguisher, okay? Gate. But I'm just trying to unpack this story in this news report for y'all asses, okay? Because I know y'all want your auntie to. Okay, let's see what this is. This is a troll. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Mary. So anyway, he decides that, so basically, okay, so let me think of where I left off at, because this story is so juicy. So she says that she gets him an apartment, right? I guess she furnished that mofo too. I don't know. I don't know if she's, enlisting chicks to be over there or what. But she alleges that, with the half of the money, she got him an apartment because she didn't want to be with him anymore. Yes, she sits up there on this interview that she did, and indicates that how much she loves him, and she really loves him. And I love Jay. Girl, girl, do you really know what love is? Do you? Okay. So anyway, after she gets him this apartment and she puts him out of her house, and she decides that she's going to file for divorce, why the hell do you care who he has in and out of his bed? Why does that matter to you? Why? He's your ex. He's the let's see, Jamaican that you want to be deported back to Jamaica. So what the hell? Why would you call the police? Why would you care about him? Okay? Why would you care about who he's screwing? What he doing? Didn't you want him from up underneath your roof? He's not your child anymore. He's not your possession. You didn't file for an adjustment of status. You didn't do any of that. So why do you give a damn who he's sticking it to? And allegedly, according to Jay in the interview, okay, according to Jay in the interview, according to Jay in the interview, now I got to keep saying that for a reason, y'all. She was screwing other people too. Now, I'm just saying, I'm just reporting. I am just news reporting. This is what he said out of his mouth while sitting in his bedroom in the red light district. Okay? So, guess what? Fair exchange ain't no robbery. If he can sleep around, you can sleep around. Jay alleges that the reason why he cheated was because something something that happened in the relationship, or something that Ashley had done, I guess, made him, decide that, he could go on and cheat. Now, I don't know what that is. Jay also goes on to say that, there's some things that he really could say about her, but he won't say those things about her because he cares about her two children. Now, he used the name of her two children. Y'all know I don't do kids' names, so I won't be saying what the children's names are. But, he was very free with giving up their names. But she has worked very hard to make sure that she has not revealed her children. And so I kind of thought that was a little strange that he was, going on and on with the children's names. But I guess he wasn't thinking, because he seemed to be a bit upset. Now, let's go back to PlayStation Gate, okay? Extinguisher Gate. So Ashley comes over to the house. She knocks on the door. According to her in this interview, she says that someone yelled, "Your wife is at the door." So let's define wife, shall we? A wife is someone who cares, supports her man. Doesn't seem like she was caring or just supporting her man to me. She said she was trying to get rid of the mofo. She said she actually paid to get him out of her house. So just because you're legally on paper as a wife, it means more to being a wife means more than just being married on paper, especially when you want this Jamaican man, brown skin man, dark skin man with a curly, kinky hair to be deported. Where's the wife in that? Where's the I care about you? Where's the I love you in all of that? Where is it? Somebody tell me where it is, because it seems like it has escaped me and her. But you want to keep talking about I'm his wife. He don't owe her a damn thing. Only thing he need to do is pay the rent up in that mofo. Okay, that's it. So she comes, she gets mad about, the thing. She comes in the house. Allegedly, there's some chick up in there. There's a chick up in there. You know what I'm saying? Doing what she do. Probably just, just as cute as all of y'all and cute as your auntie. But there was a chick in there. She gets mad some kind of way, pulls a fire extinguisher off of the wall. Must have broke the case, or maybe it was just freestyle hanging. I don't know. But she pulls a fire extinguisher off of the wall and bangs it through the window of his apartment. And busts, allegedly, one of his friends in the head. Bitch. Are you serious? And then you say it's a setup? That if, he set this up for you to come over there? How could he predict that you would fly off the handle, that you would become violent towards an immigrant? Okay, because remember, he's an immigrant. He's illegal here. He's not an American citizen. He's a Jamaican man. You're going to take a fire extinguisher and bust it through his window and hit one of his friends in the head? Since when do we do that to company? We're supposed to be hospitable. So, here's the thing. If it was a setup for him to prove domestic violence or whatever, you alleging, girl, bye. Okay, sit that ass down. If it was that, then evidently it's happened before. Because nobody knows what your trigger points are unless you show what your trigger points are. Nobody does. Nobody does. So evidently, he knows that you have some tendencies to fly off the handle, get a little bit rugged. He alleges that she keeps a gun up underneath the pillow of her bed. Girl, bye. What you scared of at night? What's got you nervous at night? Isn't it supposed to be locked up in a gun case? I know that's what I learned when I was in training class. When I was getting my firearm. But okay, I digress. Maybe it's not that way in all states. But when I was getting mine, honey, it's got to be locked up. It can't be out, especially when you got minor kids in the house. And you sleeping with that mofo up underneath the bed pillow? Girl, who you done did dirty? What you scared of? Little things that go creeping and bumping at night? Bitch, your life must be really, really something interesting as hell. But anyway, let's continue. So Jay says he calls the police. He said there has been other opportunities for him to call the police because, different things has happened. And, when the police get called, they ask him, Jay, do you want to press charges? He said no. They said, he said Jay alleges in this interview, okay, in the interview, Jay alleges that the police were called, and because his friend was busting the mofo head, that, charges had to be filed. So does our girl have a police record now? No. Say it ain't so. She's sitting up on an interview, right? And she's with one of her homegirls. And she has a big ass burn spot right there. Like, I didn't know what that was. Like, can somebody put down in the comment section what the hell that burn spot was? I don't know. But anyway, so I guess maybe she got the PlayStation, maybe she didn't. I don't know. But this story is crazy as hell. Now, many of you have reached out to me and asked me to interview with Jay. And I have refused to do it because I don't want to interview with anybody. But I'm telling you right now, I sure would like to know what it is that Jay wants to say, but just can't say out of respect for the kids. Ooh, you talking about somebody interested in hell in hearing what he has to say. See, the thing about it is when you do dirty, you get dirty back to you. Okay? You didn't file for the man adjustment of status. She said that even when he wants to do right, he just can't do right. He can't do it long enough to get her to do what he wants her to do. And so allegedly, out there on the grapevine, I'm just reporting the news, okay? I'm not the news, I'm reporting the news. Allegedly, he's supposed to be having some kind of hearing or being deported or whatever. And Jay is not a good person. I'm not saying that he's a good person, and I'm not saying he's right in this situation. I'm saying that if I'm your ex for a reason. You are the one that has all the power. You are the American, okay? You have the ability to allegedly make him legal or illegal. But you go over there and you call it a setup when your ass was told not to come over at that particular time. And then you make him out to be the bad guy. I don't see a bad guy in this particular situation. Now, screwing people up in somebody's, a bathroom in their establishment, you're a bad guy. Going on Tinder and swiping left and swiping right, you're a bad guy. But guess what? He alleges in this interview that she did the same thing. So is she a bad girl? Now, telling lies, mixing up stories. See, I watched another interview, okay, where she was talking about this particular incident that had happened. But you know what I found to be very, very strange was that she never mentioned the fire extinguisher. Now, maybe there was another interview that your auntie missed and I just didn't see the bitch. But in that particular incident, she never mentioned the fire extinguisher incident. It wasn't until he exposed it that she talked about it because she wanted to rebut what he had said. Let me just tell you this. I stand with Jay. I believe that this girl has played so many games. I believe that she has told so many contradicting stories. It's one thing to another thing, to another thing, to another thing. And Jay is saying, for the sake of the kids, I ain't gonna blast her ass. But I'm telling you right now, I stand with Jay. We don't know really what the real story is. I know that there's some chicks that were in the house that should be being interviewed. Those chicks are the ones that need to be interviewed. The chick that was there that day when she came and got the PlayStation and she was standing up there. So now let me tell you what happened after that. So allegedly the police were called, okay? And so after the police were called, I guess she was, they got her license plates, her, ID and all of that kind of stuff. Because, she famous for calling the police on somebody's ass, according to Jay, in the interview. Jay says 10 minutes later, police officers knock on his door and says that there's marijuana in the house. He said he had a chick up in there, a hot chick, a sexy chick, a fine chick, okay? Standing up in there in her underwear and her bra in front of the cops. The question was asked, don't you think that is something that, your wife will frown upon or something you shouldn't do in front of your wife? What wife? The wife by paper? The wife that wants him deported? The wife that wants to call the police on him? That wife? The wife that took half of her earnings from the tell-all show and brought him an apartment because she said she wanted him out the house? Get the fuck out of here. That wife? You couldn't be talking about that wife. The wife that sat on television and had drinks with her ex-boyfriend publicly? That wife? Nah, not that wife. The wife that allegedly said that he had stole the safe? You couldn't be talking about that wife. Oh, hell no. Or the wife that said that he, stole a PlayStation or took a PlayStation or called the police because, according to Jay, called the police because he had her children's passports, only to find out, allegedly, according to Jay, that the passports weren't even in there. Are you talking about that wife? What wife are we talking about here? Because with a wife like that, bitch, you don't need no enemies. You don't need no ex-wife. You don't need a wife. With a wife like that, you just need to go ahead on and do what you gonna do, Jay. For real, I stand with Jay. I believe everything that Jay said to an extent. But I don't believe that this Jamaican man, knowing that he has had the police called on him multiple times, would try to incite any type of altercation at his house. I don't believe he's had to, because we have seen this woman trample the streets. I mean, I'm talking about just tromping, just jumping hip-hoppity, bip-hoppity, up and down the streets, trying to find out information on this man. It didn't take nothing for her to fly off the handle and then to act like I am, oh my God, such a victim. Bitch. It's unfortunate. We have watched these people's lives and we've been disgusted by it. But this right here was really disgusting because this man was trying to tell his story. He wanted to be heard. He was very angry and upset. And I couldn't understand why he was so, I don't know. He wasn't able to articulate himself. The interviewer did try to get information out of him, but he was unwilling to give the information to the interviewer. But the information that he did give to the interviewer, I believed it. I absolutely believed it. And guess what? She confirmed it. And when she sat up there and tried to deny it, she further confirmed it, in my opinion. Now, a lot of people would say, Auntie, why are you touching on this situation? Because it's news. And I'm a news reporter. I'm here to give you the news. For all of you all who don't know about this, I got a lot of y'all that don't know about it. But I think that it's unfair. I know that on my last broadcast, many people were feeling some kind of way about me calling Jay an African American man. Y'all, some people were saying, he's from Jamaica, he's a Jamaican man. Some people were saying that, if they were from another country, they would not want to be, you know, slated as an African American person. Okay. I apologize if I offended you. But let me tell you something. Okay? I have been black all my life. All my life. I lived and grew up in an upper middle class area in Washington, D.C. And I know what it means to be identified um, as a criminal before you even open your mouth based on the color of your skin. I know what it means to go to funerals for African American men who did nothing. I've seen it ever since I was a child, and we see it even more now. Because of social media, we are able to capture some of these incidents where African American men have lost their lives for selling cigarettes in the front of a convenience store. We have seen people walk into their own apartment buildings and have women call the police on black men, whether they be African American, Jamaican, Nigerian, doesn't make a difference what part of this world they come from. When they are seen, when they see us, they see a black person. They don't see, oh, he's black and Nigerian. They don't see that he's black and Jamaican. They only see a black man. And for some people, that is extremely hard to understand. Extremely hard to understand. Because unless you live it, you know it, you breathe it, you feel it, you don't know. There was a question that was asked to Jay. Why are you staying in Pennsylvania? Shouldn't you move to Miami? Shouldn't you move to a hotter climate? What? Jay said the reason why he stays is because he's made a life for himself there. He's in the community. I don't know if he's working legally or illegally, but he has made a life where he is. And my heart went out to him because I know so many other people, black men, who want to just live their life. Whether it be on the East Coast, the West Coast, it doesn't make a difference. Whether it be in a foreign country, all of us just want to live our lives. And my heart bled for him. He has been moved from Jamaica to come over here and start a life. And he just wants to live his life. But this girl has made it extremely, in my opinion, extremely difficult for him to successfully do that. Because every time you turn around, you're being accused of something else. So to all of those people who felt offended by me saying that Jay was from Jamaica and not African American or not black, if you got somebody that wants to mean you harm based on the color of your skin, you just black. You're just black. That's it. You're nothing else but black. When I am pulled over, they don't give a good goddamn. Okay? Where I'm from. My license doesn't tell you where I'm from. When we check the box off, we check the box. Black or African American. That's not by our rules. That's by their rules. And I've never been the person that really wants to come out here and talk about the difficult things, the race things, and all of that kind of stuff. Because in my eyesight, we are all equal. We are all loving one another. I love y'all. Y'all love me. So I don't want to offend anybody who's on my channel. But let me tell you something. When they see JJ, a black man, he says that her mom calls the police every time. And I just think it's a setup for failure for him. She's talking about how he was setting her up. I guess she's trying to allege that, if he can say that he's been in domestic violence or whatever, then he has a right to stay here. I don't see that in this. I don't see him telling her, bitch, if you want your PlayStation, go over to the wall, get the fire extinguisher, and bust it. He didn't know how she was going to act or react when she came over there unless she already has a history of violence. And I'm not saying that she does. I'm saying in order for her story to make sense, she would have had to have that. Because then he would have had to already had it in his mind. I know what her trigger point is. That's based on past. Come on, make it make sense. Make it make sense. And then you sit there and call the police, allegedly, according to him, and say he got marijuana in the house. Who does that? Whose wife does that? So what I'm really trying to say, y'all, is she's an ex for a reason. He's an ex for a reason. They're a hot ass mess, the both of them. And this may be a controversial video. Y'all may not like it. I don't know. But I had to come out here and talk about it because my heart went out to Jay. Will I be interviewing with Jay? Hell to the no. Am I interested in interviewing with Jay? Hell to the no. But I would be interested in interviewing with the girl that was up in that camp. I would be interested in interviewing with any of them. Jay said he had like 5 bitches in the house. I would be interested in interviewing with all 5 of them just to find out what the hell happened. And I'm hoping the best for him, that he is able to live his best life, because at the end of the day, that's all of us want. Whether we have wronged someone or someone has wronged us, we still want to live our best life. That's all we want. That, at the end of the day, is the American dream. That's the dream that Jay wants. That's the dream that Ashley wants. Ashley alleges that she's still in love with him. That, she has a tendency in the interview, she alleges that, she maybe would have taken Jay back. She just knows she can't. But this woman has been in a relationship with 3 men, and all 3 of them have cheated on her. Now, I understand from her now, she's saying she ain't going to rehab. Like, what the fuck? I got a damn whole article saying that she's going to rehab, or she's going to some type of spa or treatment center for depression. So this girl appears to have problems deep enough to damn swim in. Jay never had a damn fighting chance with her ass. He never had a fighting chance. Because if he didn't cross all his damn T's and dot all his damn I's, that ass was going back to Jamaica. Black and all. Black and all. That's it. And that's all. I don't know how y'all gonna feel about this video. I really don't. But I really had to come out here and say something about it. I am not blaming the interviewer at all. He did the best that he could with what he had. That damn interview spiraled out of control so damn fast. He was sitting there like, whew, this is too much for me. And I was thinking, whew, that would have been too much for me, but I would have had to be pulling his ass in. You understand? I had to be pulling his ass in. But he wasn't really willing to talk. There was a part in the interview when the interviewer said, you haven't said anything. And I thought that that was the truth. He cleared up some situation as it related to Extinguisher Gate, but he really didn't say anything. So again, for all of those people that want me to interview with him, he's not ready to talk. Because this person that interviewed him has an intimate relationship with both of them. He's been in their company, he's dined with them, he's done all of that. And he hasn't been willing to say anything. So if he ain't willing to talk to him, he damn sure ain't gonna talk to me. He not. But I'm putting it out there to the women who were in the house. If y'all want to tell y'all story, I'm interested in listening. Sure am. Because I would like to hear that side of the story. And let me say this to Ashley. Ashley, you have to think about what you doing, boo, when you calling the police on a man. The police are not there to fix your relationship. They're not there to make sure that he doesn't cheat. And they're not there to punish him for cheating. Now, I know you throwing this wife thing around, but allegedly you filed for divorce, boo. So you don't have a right to be mad about anything that this man does. Not a goddamn thing. So I hope that you give that up. And that you let the court systems do what they want to do. You keep talking about he illegal, he an immigrant, he don't have no right to be here. He had a right to be here when he was doing what he was doing with you. Let's see how this story ends. I thank you all so much for being out here for this midnight madness. I'm hoping that you all have a great Sunday on purpose. Know that I love you. I apologize for not being able to do Smother, but I've had people in my house and they've been working day in and day out to get prepared for my housewarming party that's coming up. And you all know that I've moved and all of that kind of stuff. And so, you know, right now I'm running two households, you know what I'm saying? Trying to sell my other house and trying to get my new one together. So I've been quite busy, but there's no excuse for me not to be out here doing my interview. Tomorrow I will be doing Smothered, y'all. I promise I'm doing Smothered tomorrow because it was a hot-ass mess. But to Jay and Ashley, I'm hoping that you all really realize not to live your life out on public on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, YouTube, and all of that. Like really, you need to keep what's going on in your relationship, in your household, and stop it with the bull crap because we've gotten to the point now where we don't know what the hell to believe. Again, this story is a story time, and I was doing this as a news reporter. Okay, no copyright infringements on this video, boo. Not a nary one. It was in an interview, and I'm just reporting the news. See y'all tomorrow. Bye. Thank you, Mary, for I don't know if Josie was out there, but thank you so much, Mary, for moderating and getting rid of those trolls. Because you know those bitches don't want me to talk about this. But ain't nothing they could do. Love you.